Good thing I chose not to hike out of town today. I definitely would have gotten soaked. Ooh. Hiker's sock fell down. That's not mine, but it's somebody's. Looks like it'll be dry. I'm not gonna go down there and grab it. Good morning. It is June 27. It is about 8:30 in the morning, and I am heading north out of town. I spent the night in Port Clinton. Pretty glad I did. It rained probably 6 hours last night, which is fantastic. We definitely needed the rain. The grass yesterday when I was walking around in the Walmart Cabela area was freaking crunchy. Grass is not supposed to be crunchy. Anywho, this is a interesting little town. Mixture of old buildings and new buildings, and most of this area of Pennsylvania is was built up in, around the time of the Civil War or the Revolutionary War. So some of these buildings date back to the Revolutionary War, and some of them don't. There's also a building over there that's made out of a train car, so that's great. But I spent all day yesterday in town, so I'm just gonna hike on out of here. So I'm under the bridge on the way out of Port Clinton, and there's some graffiti here, but not all of it's negative. Like this one is probably done by a maintainer. Well, and then people did graffiti on top of that. That's not great. AT, Georgia, Maine. Somebody sprayed a lot over that. No idea what that said. Somebody. Alright, so I'm back on the trail. Not back on trail, been on trail, but I'm out of town and I'm climbing up this hill. According to Far Out, I've got to go 1,000 feet up over 2.5 miles. But, once I'm up, then I get to go down a little bit. Yay! Anyway, it rained last night, so it's pretty cool right now. It'll probably get hot later. I don't think it's supposed to be a scorcher today. Mid-80s, but even mid-80s is pretty hard to ripen. I wonder if it was the rain last night that gave him the urge to pop off. Hello, it's 11:45. I came to 10:45. I got to a bit of a view. It's a perfect sitting rock right on the trail. So I'm having a bit of a snack. I've got a couple of these chocolate fudge cookies. I got a pita wrap, and I've got a Smart Bowl rice and beans with tuna spicy peppers. I'm kind of surprised that I haven't gotten sick of these yet, but they're still good, and I'm still eating them. So I'm going to eat this. I'm going to put the tuna into the pita, and then I'll have the crackers and some water, and I will keep hiking. I'm about halfway up this hill out of Duncannon, or Port Clinton. I don't know why I said Duncannon. Port Clinton. About halfway up out of Port Clinton. Hey, so I made it back to the Appalachian Trail after that 1.7 mile retro blaze. There's a good campsite in about 1.7 miles. And then the Eckville shelter is in 3.7 miles. It is all downhill to the Eckville shelter, and there is a shower there, so that is good incentive to try to push it. But if I do push it, That would be an 11.1-ish mile day. Whew, that's some big miles. Right now, the trail is pretty smooth. The retroblaze that I did was basically an old dirt road, and this trail looks like it's more of the same. If it stays like this, I might try to push it to the Eckville shelter. If it turns rocky, then I will stop at that campsite in a mile and a half. It is 6:25. So if I do push it, it'll be dark when I get to the Eckville shelter. And I have to probably end up setting up my tent in the dark, because the shelter only has 6 spots. So, on the other hand, it would be nice to we'll just see what happens. I mean, I'm feeling good, but if, like I said, if it gets rocky, then I'm not even gonna try it. We'll see what happens with this trail. This is a beautiful camp spot. Unfortunately, I don't have any extra water. I only got about 1.5 liters, so I can't stay here. But it's got a great breeze. It would be very nice to stay here. But I didn't carry any extra water up here, so I'm gonna keep hiking. It's about half a mile to the campsite that I'm thinking about staying at. And then from that campsite, it's 2 miles to the Eckville shelter. I don't think I'm gonna make that tonight. I don't think I'm gonna even try. My feet are starting to feel pretty abused on these rocks, and I think it's probably just be better to not push it too far. Set up a tent. It's 7 o'clock already, so make dinner, get some water, make dinner, go to sleep. Get up in the morning, go to the shelter, take a shower, and then push on from there. Sounds like what I'm probably gonna do. Alright, I got my tent set up. It's about 8:04. I've got 3 liters of water to filter, and I'm gonna make dinner and then go to sleep. I will make it to the Eckville shelter, whatever the shelter's called, and take a shower in the morning. It's about 1.8 miles downhill, but my feet are done, so I'm done. Makes it simple. So when I got back to the pavilion last night, the other hikers that were there told me that a hiker decided to call it quits and donated a bunch of food. So I got 2 dinners. This one is red lentil marinara with spaghetti and mushrooms. And this one is corn chowder with chicken. LGSVG, I'm not sure what that is. Oh, bacon. Okay. So, I also got a whole lot of these. These are awesome. These are like $1 a piece. You know, if I want to get a pack of 6 of these at Walmart, it's gonna run me $9. And I must have gotten, I don't know, 40 of them. Well, 20. I got a lot of them. I didn't count. I don't know how many I have. More than I really want to carry, but they're so efficient, so good at rehydrating me that I carry more than I need, right, for the snack section. I also got a bunch of snacks. Did I get another dinner? No, that's beef jerky. I bought beef jerky. I don't buy beef jerky very often because it's super expensive, but I did. So now I've got some beef jerky to go with all the other food I've got. So for tonight, I'm going to have the red lentil marinara with spaghetti and mushrooms, because that sounds kind of awesome. Good morning, everybody. It is June 28th. I am really slowly getting started. It's 10 o'clock, so yeah, I should have been up like a couple hours ago. But I'm basically up now. I've got everything out of the tent except for my sleeping bag. Yeah, all my gear's over here, or right here. All that's left in the tent is the sleeping bag, so I'll be up in a minute. Oh, wanted to tell you, the ground here was so rocky that I had to use a heavy weight to hold up the tent rather than staking it out because it was just too rocky. I couldn't get the stakes to go in. So I did that on the two sides. The other side behind me, I tied to a tree rather than staking out, which is also a good alternative. But then the end points I staked. It was a little tough. The stakes really didn't want to go in. I had to really hammer them. But so far, these titanium stakes that I got from Z-Packs haven't bent, so good for so far, you know. So I staked out the four corners. I used rocks to hold the tent apart, and I tied the far end to the tree, the other side to a tree, I mean. So now I just need to pull up the stakes, untie the rocks, untie from the tree, and crush the bag and shove it in the orange bag. 10:08, and I'm fully packed up. Now I just have to hike 2 miles to the shelter. I use the term shelter loosely. It is technically a shelter, but it's attached to a house and it has a caretaker that has been there taking care of it for 35 years or something like that. So, anyway, I'm going to get down to the shelter, take a shower, charge up my devices a little bit, and try to do a couple more miles. The next section is 9 miles between the shelter. The 9 miles between the shelter and the next road doesn't have a lot of water, so I'm not sure exactly how far I'll go tonight. I'll have to look at it once I get there and see. So here's the campsite I stayed at last night. Really incredibly rocky stream. It goes underneath this road that I'm walking on, and I scooped up the water coming out of the culvert over on this side. Pretty good water source. To answer one of the most common Facebook questions, no, you can't fish in this water source. It's too shallow. There are no fish. Probably one of the most common things I see on Facebook, and I'm in all the Facebook groups. So if you ever want to interact with me, come on Facebook. Feel free. But if you ever want, anyway, one of the most common asked questions is, can I forage and fish along the Appalachian Trail during my through hike? And the answer is unequivocally no. If you know about foraging, you can sometimes find forageable foods, berries in this time of year. I started to see blueberries and blackberries. You can occasionally get some berries once you're into the summer, fall. You can find apples maybe, but the likelihood of you being able to live off the forage you find is absolutely 0%. It's just not possible. If you had I don't know, if it was a post-apocalyptic scenario and you were trying to hike the Appalachian Trail to get from a city to someplace where you could maybe live long term, you would be very, very dead. You would have to spend more time. Basically, in order to live off what you can forage in the forest, you would need to spend all day, every day foraging, not hiking. Hiking the trail is what you do. When you're out here through hiking, you spend all your time hiking. You don't have time to spend foraging. And if you're spending all your time foraging, then you don't have time to spend hiking. So far, this trail has continuously been on this old dirt road all day today. I say it's an old dirt road, but it's actually just a state game lands road. I've seen tracks. I don't see any tracks right now, but there was tracks early on it for a while. It's been fairly easy so far. I probably should have just pushed to the shelter yesterday. I could have done the 11.5 or whatever. It would have been It would have been a long day, but I could have done it. Oh well. But yeah, I am on trail. State Game Lands, Appalachian Trail hikers welcome. Overnight camping permitted for through hikers walking the Appalachian Trail from point of beginning to an exit which is not the place of beginning. The following acts are unlawful. Camping overnight on the trail on state game lands at a distance of more than 200 feet from the trail. Camping overnight for more than one night at the same location along the trail. Camping within 500 feet of any spring, stream, or public access areas on state game lands. Having an open fire during periods where the fire fire index rating is high or very extreme. Now I understand they can't carry everything. They can't consider everything, but clearly they didn't think about yo-yoers. Probably because the idea of the yo-yo is so extreme that very few people think about it. What is the yo-yo, you ask? Well, the yo-yo is a very simple type of hike. Basically, you walk from Georgia to Maine, you stand up on top of Katahdin, you look around and say, damn, my car's in Georgia, I gotta go back to it. So you walk back to Georgia. That is a yo-yo. Very few hikers have done it. I will never do it, probably. Mostly because I don't do the trail, and I would have to start in Georgia, go all the way to Maine, and then all the way back to Georgia in 1 year. Or, well, not necessarily 1 year. You could do it in 2. Just, winter on trail. What I did, basically, starting in January, I basically wintered on a trail. Well, I wintered on a trail in Alabama, where it was considerably warmer. Anyway, I very much doubt I will ever do a yo-yo. But it's something to think about. I have started to consider what I'm going to do. Although it's a long way away, I still have the rest of this year to hike. But I've started to consider what I want to do next. And I will keep you informed on what I'm thinking about. I want it to be a little bit of a surprise, though. So I don't think I'll tell you just yet. But I do have something interesting that I've been thinking about doing for a while now. So we'll see what happens with that. Sadness. The trail turns off the old road. Oh well. I'm less than a mile from the shelter. So I should be there soon. If it doesn't get too rocky. If you ever see one of these metal Appalachian Trail plates along the trail, do not mess with them. It's a felony.
I just have to click it and then you put your front up, yeah.
The emergency hiking brick.
Or is that the contact?
The people actually carry it.
Oh yeah, it'd be nice.
So this is the Eckville shelter. That's the caretaker's private house. And there's a trash picnic table. There's the shower in the bathroom. I actually already took a shit and a shower. That's my pack over there. I've got my my backup batteries plugged in and charging. And I am relaxing in the sun, or the shade rather. When I hit the road crossing a couple hours ago, there was Trail Magic. 2 different groups set up as Trail Magic. So I had really nice lunch and hung out with people and came down and took a shower. Just got some water. I'm going to relax here for a couple hours before hiking on up this next mountain. I'll show you the shelter itself right now. Actually, I haven't been in here in a few years, like 12. I don't think I came through here last time I was in PA, so. It's got bunks for 6. Ooh, somebody left a pad. That's weird. Why would somebody leave a pad? That's light. Holy crap. Almost want to swap out my pad for that one. Backpacker's box.